Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. What's happening with the Jasper Chamber? Let's find out in this edition of WJTS. I am Bill Potter, and joining me in the studio is Nancy Eckerle. Nancy is the Executive Director for the Jasper Chamber of Commerce. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We always like to have you back at least once a month to talk about what's coming up in the month for the Jasper Chamber, because you sponsor a lot of different events. And this month is no different. There's a lot of significant events that people want to participate in.
We have a lot of things going on. We'll start off with our Business Startup Series. We've been doing this through the end of last year, and now we have 3 more sessions this year. Our next one will be January the 18th, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. at WJTS in their new building, their C10 building. And the topic this time is human resource issues and building your team. So really, whether you are wanting to start a business, whether you are in business already, or whether you're just considering maybe going into business, you need to realize that you should hopefully you'll have employees,
right.
And you need to talk about how you manage your employees, how you build your employees as your work grows, and basically just finding the right people for the right jobs within your business. And so we have 2 professionals. One is Reva Baker with Jasper Rubber Products, and she really heads the local human resource group, and then she's bringing in a cohort with her to do the presentation. I think you'll find it very informative, and they'll also probably talk about the legal issues of having employees and what you need to do as far as, paying their taxes and those type of things.
Well, the human resources part can be really big. And if you're a small business, 2 or 3 employees, you still have certain things you have to follow, and this would be really helpful for somebody.
It would, and of course, Reva comes from a company that has hundreds and hundreds of employees, Jasper Rubber Products, but it really doesn't matter. I think the issues are the same, like you said, and whether you have 1 employee, 10, or you have 500, you still have to have the basic services that you provide.
Is there a charge for this?
We do charge $10 for each of these, and that's basically just to cover some of the expenses that we have putting this on. But again, it will be Saturday, January 18th from 8:30 until 10:30, and usually they're willing to stick around a little bit and answer questions after the session is over.
Do you need to pre-register, or can you just show up that morning?
It's better if you call the chamber to pre-register, although you can just walk in the door also.
Okay.
The number at the chamber, 482-6866.
Okay. All right, now another event that is coming up.
Yes, on January the 23rd, and Bill, we've talked before about the Chamber having partners with what we do, because we can't do everything. We're just a small staff. But we do have a lot of partners, and 2 of our partners are Work One, Indiana Work One, and Vincennes University Jasper campus. And so we do with them a monthly, we call it a monthly breakfast series, a monthly business seminar. And the next topic is detecting the telltale signs of chemical dependency in the workplace. So really finding the differences between substance abuse, dependency, and what these things have as far as costing your business when your employees are involved in chemical dependency, and when they're coming to work every day and there's issues and maybe you don't even realize it, what are some of the telltale signs, and what can you do about it, not only to get those problems out of your workplace, but to help your employee. If they're dealing with issues and they're a good employee, you don't want to just say there's the door. Let's help people overcome their dependencies and find that they can still remain in the workplace, but yet they can get help with their situation.
And again, this is open to pretty well anybody.
Yes, it is, and there is no charge. These are typically the 4th Thursday of every month, and it's 7:30 until 9 a.m., and this one is on Thursday, January the 23rd. So we have a good speaker coming out of the Evansville area, someone with the Wellborn's Mulberry Center, which deals with chemical and substance abuse issues.
And the coffee's not bad.
The coffee is very good, and Work One provides that coffee and usually some kind of donuts or Danish also.
So it's just not a bad deal. And the other thing is I find a lot of people tend to network a little bit with each other after that. And what's always nice is you can ask questions as part of this event. The speakers will speak for so long, and then they open it up to questions, and there's really some good questions and good answers.
There are, and again, with the human resource issues, just like we talked about with the other sessions that's coming up on the 18th, on this one on the 23rd, the human resource issues are common among all workplaces. So I know a lot of times the speaker will say, okay, who has had a similar situation? And people might raise their hand, and that kind of opens it up for that networking that you're talking about. Well, let's talk later because I want to know what you did about that situation.
And this is not one you do need people to pre-register for.
Nope.
There's plenty of room.
Just show up.
And this is, though, in the lecture
in the lecture hall,
okay,
in the
lecture
second
hall.
newest building
Okay.
at WJC, which I think they just call it the classroom building.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, that's coming up on January the 23rd. And then we, twice a year, the Chamber and our partner Memorial Hospital, we sponsor a health screening. And you know, I mentioned this yesterday at a meeting I was at, and someone gave a huge testimonial for these health screenings because, for example, for $37, you get your complete blood cholesterol, your blood pressure, your total chemistry panel done, you know, all your blood work done to show you where you are at the present time. Now, if you do these every year, like in January or in July when we do the other one, they will give you a comparison of your blood work and your height and your weight and all that good stuff every January for the past 2 or 3 years that you've had these done. So you can really keep track of, okay, I knew 3 years ago I was having problems, for example, with my blood pressure. Where is it now? And am I doing things to help remedy that situation? This will be on January the 29th, early in the morning, starts at 5:45 and goes till 9 because there is a fasting element to this. So you want to make sure you don't eat after midnight. The best way is to probably call the Chamber office, and we can give you how to go online with Memorial Hospital to find this out, how to register. But it's a very simple system, and again, for $37, you can get your basic screening done. Now, they do offer for men the PSA for $20 and colon cancer kits for $8. You can also take a health risk assessment, or it's $22 extra for that. But anyway, on the health risk assessment, you can kind of go through a whole series of some of your life habits. What are you doing? And then they give you an assessment of that on things you could be doing better to help improve your overall health. And it's a very good thing. I've done this years ago, and they continue, though. They offer that every time now.
And many companies who are Jasper Chamber members will pay for the service for their employees, like our company, DC Broadcasting,
Right.
WJTS, does that for all of our employees as a wellness, pre-wellness, I guess,
Yeah.
sort of showing that we care for our employees. And so there might be other companies, and your company can do that too. That can be set up to where they will bill the company for the health screening if that's what you want.
That's
or you can do
correct.
it individually as well.
That's correct. Either way works. But it is, you know, for $37, it is really a small price for a company to pay, and it's confidential. So even though your company might pay for it, they do not get the results of your test. You only get the results of your test, and you're able to go pick them up in a couple of weeks, and they will go through your results for you, or they can simply put them in the mail to you.
Okay.
So those are the things going on, but I did want to mention one other thing. We do combine with VUJC, the Rotary Club, and all of the media for the year in review.
Right.
And I know you probably have a few employees that will be participating in that, and that is Thursday, January the 30th during the lunchtime, and that's open to the public, and I'm not really sure the location of that yet, but we'll be announcing that. But it's a great time to just come out, no pressure, come out and eat lunch. You do have to pay for your own lunch. And the media then will tell us about the top 10 news events of 2013 and the top 10 sporting events. So it's really kind of an enjoyable lunch. It makes you think back into the previous year, and sometimes it also makes you shed a few tears on some of the things that happened that maybe were kind of sad for our county.
And there is one other event, and that is the 25th of January, the Legislative Breakfast.
Oh, that's right, the Legislative Breakfast, which is a very important event, and that is from 8:30 in the morning till about 10:30. That is where we invite our legislators. So we have 2 state senators, Senator Young and Senator Hume, and then we have 2 state representatives, and that is Lloyd Arnold and Mark Messmer, and all 4 of them plan to be there, and they will tell us, since they just started the legislative session the other day, they will by that time on the 25th be able to tell us some bills that are going to be introduced, some issues that they are working on, and then also take questions and answers from the public, and they're very good about doing that. They're very good about listening to what the constituents have to say and about some of the concerns that people are having within their own region and then also at the state level.
And also WJTS Channel 18 will record that.
Right.
And we will play it back that following Tuesday, following our newscast on that Tuesday night. So if you can't make it, or if you were there, you can revisit that legislative breakfast.
That's right, and we do appreciate that a lot because, you know, depending on the weather, our legislators are very good about showing up regardless of the weather. But it's also a good way to recap, even if you've been there, to kind of recap what did they say about that issue. I can't quite remember, or again, if you can't be there, and we appreciate you covering that story.
We're glad to do it. We appreciate you coming in, talking to us about things that are happening in Jasper.
Great. Well, you know, Bill, there's a lot of things going on in the community. Last year, as you know, we had almost 30 ribbon cuttings. I already have about 6 pinpointed for this year. Within the next couple of months, we want to get those scheduled, and hopefully we'll do close to 30 again this year.
And if you're not a member of the Jasper Chamber and you're a business, I guess maybe even individuals if they'd like, consider joining the Jasper Chamber of Commerce to help do the good work that they do, or also just to have people to network with.
That's right, and to stay in contact with things going on in the community. You know, as you know, you're on my email list and you get a lot of emails from me during the week just about various things going on, either that the Chamber has a part of or that other organizations or businesses have asked that we relay to our members. So it's just a good way to stay connected, a good way to be part of the voice of the business community, which is what the Chamber is, and just to kind of know what's going on. We're a very active chamber. We always have a lot of projects, as you can tell. What we talked about this morning, but we also like to partner with other organizations. So if there's any organizations that would like to do something, they're not big enough to do it, we're not big enough to do it, but boy, together we can do something strong. I'd appreciate those phone calls too.
All right, thank you very much. Our guest has been Nancy Eckerle. She's the Executive Director for the Jasper Chamber of Commerce. I'm Bill Potter, thanking you for watching WJTS Inform. We are local people watching local people.